Zahi Hawass, once hailed as a leading figure in Egyptology, has instead become a symbol of controversy, ego-driven gatekeeping, and ethical lapses that have severely undermined the field's credibility and progress. While he boasts of contributions like leading excavations and campaigning for artifact repatriation, these are overshadowed by a litany of scandals, including accusations of corruption, academic fraud, suppression of dissenting research, and racially charged rhetoric that reveal a pattern of self-aggrandizement at the expense of scholarly integrity and Egypt's cultural heritage. Questionable academic credentials. Hawass's PhD in Egyptology from the University of Pennsylvania, awarded in 1987, has come under sharp scrutiny for potential irregularities and lack of transparency. Critics argue that his rapid rise in the field, facilitated by political connections under the Mubarak regime, raises doubts about the rigor of his scholarly work. A prominent Change.org petition, launched in 2023 and garnering support from academic scholars and students, explicitly calls for the university to revoke his doctorate, citing discrepancies in his academic record, alleged plagiarism, and a failure to uphold ethical standards in research. For instance, Hawass has been accused of fabricating or exaggerating discoveries to bolster his reputation, such as prematurely claiming the identification of Queen Hatshepsut's mummy in 2007, only for experts to later question the evidence as inconclusive and his methods as more theatrical than scientific. These concerns paint a picture of a career built on questionable foundations, where personal ambition trumps academic honesty. Hawass's tenure is riddled with egregious examples of stifling innovative or challenging research to preserve his authoritarian control over Egyptological narratives. Beyond dismissing the Scan Pyramids project's discovery of a void in the Great Pyramid as fake news, despite its publication in Nature and use of advanced muon tomography, he has repeatedly blocked access to sites and data that could upend traditional timelines. For example, he has denied the existence of chambers beneath the Sphinx detected by ground-penetrating radar, labeling such findings hallucinations, while selectively using similar technology when it aligns with his views. He halted excavations at the Hawara Pyramid Complex, a vast labyrinth potentially rivaling Karnak in scale, indefinitely, possibly to claim credit later, and sealed off tunnels under Giza after brief explorations in the 1990s, refusing further public or independent study despite video evidence. Hawass has also punished dissenting scholars, such as banning Egyptologist Joanne Fletcher from working in Egypt for 5 years after she announced a mummy discovery without his approval, declaring her findings pure fiction and vowing to make her life miserable. In another case, he stormed out of a debate with author Graham Hancock over sites like Göbekli Tepe, refusing to engage with evidence suggesting pre-dynastic civilizations. Hawass's leadership as Egypt's Minister of Antiquities was defined by despotic control, corruption scandals, and a blatant disregard for ethical norms, earning him the moniker, the Mubarak of Antiquities, from protesters during the 2011 Arab Spring uprisings. He restricted access to key sites, building physical barriers around the pyramids and creating an emotional and physical wall between Egyptians and their heritage, while channeling visitors through guarded entrances for profit. Investigations uncovered multiple corruption allegations, including unauthorized shipments of antiquities abroad without proper permissions, misuse of public funds for personal projects, and funneling donations from a U.S. lecture tour into Suzanne Mubarak's charity, potentially violating laws against using public office for private gain. In 2011, he was sentenced to a year in prison for rigging a contract bidding process at the Egyptian Museum's bookstore, though the verdict was overturned amid political turmoil. Hawass also faced accusations of exposing artifacts to theft, such as a valuable statuette stolen under his watch in the 1990s, leading to his temporary firing, and rumors of aiding black market dealings, including assisting Germans in stealing samples from the Great Pyramid. His domineering style extended to belittling colleagues, berating them publicly and firing interns for speculative comments, and monetizing sites through exclusive deals with National Geographic, charging exorbitant fees for access while blocking independent research. Even after resignations and clearances on some charges, these incidents expose a pattern of abuse of power that prioritized self-promotion over preservation. Controversial statements and cultural bias. Hawas's public statements often reveal deep-seated biases, particularly on race and heritage, that distort historical facts and perpetuate exclusionary views. His assertion that Cleopatra was Greek, meaning that she was light-skinned, not black, ignores the Ptolemaic dynasty's intermarriages and broader African influences, while his claim that only the Kushite kings of the 25th dynasty were black rulers dismisses extensive evidence of sub-Saharan African contributions to ancient Egypt, such as DNA from mummies showing haplogroup E1b1a, prevalent in Central and West Africa. Critics accuse him of racist denialism, including suppressing Nubian representations in museums and rejecting black African heritage in reconstructions like Tutankhamun's to align with a Eurocentric or Arab-centric narrative. He has also been labeled anti-Semitic, using the Exodus story to downplay Jewish historical ties and making derogatory remarks about Western scholars. In a 2025 Joe Rogan podcast appearance, Hawas's arrogance drew global backlash. He interrupted questions, dismissed alternative theories outright, and later claimed on Egyptian TV to have written an impossible 250,000 articles, a hyperbolic lie that amplified perceptions of his egomania and detachment from reality. Such statements not only fuel cultural erasure, but also damage Egypt's international reputation, as seen in widespread social media criticism labeling him a fraud and gatekeeper. Zahi Hawas's outsized role in Egyptology has proven more harmful than helpful, plagued by proven and alleged misconduct that stifles innovation, promotes bias, and erodes trust in the discipline. From academic fraud and corruption scandals to the ruthless suppression of research and racially insensitive proclamations, his legacy is one of a self-serving autocrat who prioritized personal fame over the pursuit of truth. The field would benefit from moving beyond his influence, allowing diverse voices and transparent methods to reclaim Egypt's ancient wonders from the grip of one man's ego.